What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I'm your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. I appreciate you for being here with us. We're going to have an amazing show today. We're discussing what shakes our confidence. You know, what happens when your confidence is shaken? How do you recover? How do you bounce back when something happens that shakes you to your core? So we're gonna discuss that today. So we're gonna kick this thing off. I got some news I'm gonna share as folks come in, but you know this is the way. You know, how, like, when a service starts, you kind of draw out the beginning, let folks come in, get settled, because I pretty much got it down to when my folks really start coming in. So let's go ahead and kick this off. But I appreciate you for being here, rocking with us live. So what are we going to start doing on the Brothers of Legacy? If you are watching this on replay, I'm going to begin to cut it up a little bit, so you don't have to go through all of the live antics, because some things are only really good and enjoyable when it's live. So you're going to get to the meat of it. So there'll be two versions. There'll be the live version, and then there'll be the replay version. So be sure to check out the replay version if you're watching this on live, and it'll probably be posted up somewhere if you're on the YouTube space. Good morning, Mama McCoy. Great morning to you. Thank you for being here. We're going to have a great show, so make sure you share. Sharing is caring. And welcome to the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. And I appreciate you. Had a great weekend celebrating my daughter's birthday. Awesome sauce. She's getting bigger by the day. Y'all pray for us as we go through this transition from the baby girl to the grown woman. She's making her way. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for being always a part of what we do. I do not take that for granted. I do not take it for granted. You could be watching anything. You could have checked out anything. And shout out for the folks that have been my new subscribers. We joined and we're moving up. Moving on. I haven't got to the 200 yet, but we're moving up. We're growing. Views are picking up, so I'm excited. Great things are happening. Continue to support, continue to watch over us, continue to pray for us as we grow and develop the different programs that we're a part of. All right. And if you've not put your name in or placed another family's name in for the Thanksgiving giveaway, make sure you do so. Go to brothersoflegacy.com, brothersoflegacy.com. Thanksgiving giveaway. We're closing out on the 31st. So share that. I'm gonna post it up again. It's on Brother Legacy Facebook page, as well as the website. So make sure you are sharing that. All right. So let's go ahead and kick our, as folks have called it, let's kick off our elevator music. Give you a chance to share. Give you a chance to really get settled in to watch this amazing broadcast. All right, be right back. What up? All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's the remix. Welcome back. All right. So a quick new segment called the BOL News. Some of the things that caught my attention this weekend, last week. Just little tidbits of stuff. It'll expand as we grow. But quick shout out to Deion Sanders. He's like, why Deion Sanders? What is he's done? He's done now. I was watching a segment where he's on 60 Minutes, and he was just speaking about kind of why he got into Jackson State and some of the changes he's made and the avenues of revenue he's going after to basically begin to bring more funding back to HBCUs because they've not really been a focal point for athletes that want to do great things. It's just historically just unfortunately, for education wise and things of that nature, but sports wise, when someone has a certain particular set of skills, they wouldn't go to HBCUs per se. There have been the anomalies and those that have went and gone on to become Hall of Famers and things of that nature. But HBCUs has never been a point where if you're really great in college, if you're really great in high school, the next step wouldn't be in HBCU. And my prayer is that Deion Sanders is changing that and shattering some of the glass ceilings that HBCUs have faced, as well as bringing the funding because he's shown the difference, and if you've seen the differences between the HBCU fields and the college fields, and he even pointed out high schools have better fields than the college, so which is ridiculous. So shout out to Deion Sanders. Also, shout out to Killer Mike, right? Whether you like him, hate him, he has a show on PBS called Love and Respect. And the fact that he's on PBS to me is big because it's not the regular avenue for us, as well as people like Killer Mike. He would be on Revolt, on BET, but he's on PBS. And I think, PBS to me is one of those slow down channels that give you a chance to really take your time because it's like it's a whole nother atmosphere. If you never really watch PBS outside of when you're younger watching Sesame Street, but if you watch any other show, even Bob Ross, everything is kind of got that Bob Ross uh aura, atmosphere about it. Just real slow, take your time. Particular guy had named Charlie Rose. I don't know if he's still alive because he was older when I was young. So I don't know if he's still alive or even on. But he had a show as well. It's like a night talk show kind of thing. Everything is kind of slower paced, and you ask real thoughtful questions. So shout out to Killer Mike for his show, Love and Respect. Also, if you don't know, the student debt relief application is open. From my understanding, it's in beta mode. So right now, you can apply, but it's not going to process, I think, for a couple of days. But you can, I would suggest get it in, get it in, get it in. And for those that have not gone to school or those who have gone to school, paid out of pocket, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. I don't have student loans. Don't be a hater because they're allowing debt relief to those that have had the student loan. So shout out to this time and space for those that have the loans to get the relief that's needed. Finally, and this one is different. The FDA has put out a list of cereals that are no longer considered healthy. Cereals. I didn't say Siri. I said cereals. No longer considered healthy. And they are Special K, Frosted Mini Wheats, Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran is off the list. Honey Nut Cheerios. We kind of felt that way, but I fell for the ad. Cornflakes. Cornflakes, guys. Cornflakes. Honey Bunches of Oats and Golden Crisp cereal. these cereals are now off the healthy list according to the FDA. According to the FDA, so they can no longer claim certain things. They can no longer make certain claims because the FDA is no longer backing them. The FDA is no longer backing them. So I don't know. Is Honey Nut Cheerios still heart healthy? You know, I don't know. But then that was according to another organization. So we don't know. We'll see what happens down the road. Let's say right, Lord Jesus. Not Special K and Raisin Bran. Yes. Listen, Raisin Bran has been getting sweeter and sweeter lately. Like, yeah, they've been doing something to the raisins. So yeah, lacing a little more sugar in there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. That's all of BOL news. So that's my goal every day, to kind of throw out some information just to kind of get you to thinking, get you to going, and kind of just shake these conversations up. And of course, things I'll probably say may spill over to other conversations, because some things you can't just glaze over. Like, what? Like Trump never going to jail. So we're gonna talk about that. And hanging in the background, we have, is he frozen? I think he's oh no, he's good. All right. You got Poor Righteous Teacher in the building, rocking this funky joint, aka Kaneem Curvey. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get started. Today we're talking about what shakes our confidence, or what has shaken our confidence. Have you had those moments when you just were rocked to your core? All right, and we're gonna get into that. So hey, what's up, Michael? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for rocking with us. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We are 15 minutes. Was it 15 minutes past the hour? Time now for a weather check. It's nice out. Just go outside. All right, we'll be right back.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
Poor Righteous Teacher.
Yes, Poor Righteous Teacher. Is that Miss Curvey? Is that Miss Curvey?
You already know. She said,
hey, good morning.
I'm a hip hop connoisseur.
That's good though. That's good. I'm going to ask, see if a pastor just came in the building. I'm going to see if Pastor knows who Poor Righteous Teacher is.
Okay, that's not. I'm a whole comment
because they were like, they're New Yorkish. They're New York, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I thought they were. I think they are. Like I was pretty
New York or Philly. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Right.
I want to say New York though.
Okay. Yeah, because Philly got into, we incorporate a lot of Philly stuff. It's like Philly to New York, like so New Jersey,
Yeah, all her crew, the same little mesh.
Yeah, we kind of All right. So let me get Pastor on. All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes, sir. How
Happy
about
Marcus Mariota Day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he did pretty good yesterday. I was very pleased and surprised.
Who is Marcus Mariota?
That's okay. I don't want to derail the conversation.
Yeah, you can't. That's like
he's the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. See, happy Nook Nook Juwanta Day. Like, who is Nook Nook Juwanta? Like, you gotta, you're gonna bring a name up. We gotta know.
Also, the Heisman Trophy winner from the University of Oregon.
Okay. Awesome. Had a great game. All right. So, Pastor, we got a question for you before we get into our topic.
Give it to him.
I'm gonna give it to him. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let's do this. All right. Poor Righteous Teachers. Do you know who they are?
Say it again.
Poor Righteous Teachers, right here in Kaneem's name.
No.
Have you heard of them?
The short version is PRT.
Nah. Okay. Rock this funky joint. Rock this funky joint. No? Okay. We're gonna move on.
It's all good. Like I said, I am the hip hop connoisseur.
Anybody in the audience knows who Poor Righteous Teachers is? Have you heard them before? Let's see. I like also they never played a whole lot with The Black Queen Is Mine. The Black
Oh
Queen.
yeah.
Yeah, that was always a great song.
Yeah,
that was a great song.
yeah. See, so you got a little hip hop in
Oh
there.
man, I got a whole lot, sir. I got a whole lot. I said, I'm gonna make it clear for everybody before
I
they
see it.
start trying to question my hip hop connoisseurish, like the stuff I know is probably to 2002, 2003. After that, I checked out. I stopped. I tell people it's usually like right when 50 Cent dropped In the Club. That's about the time I checked out. Not because of him, but that's like I'm thinking like, what's the last song? I was like, oh, that's dope, and I kind of checked out. I did the old man. Listen, the worst part is when someone said, yeah, this new artist 50 Cent. I did the real old man. 50 Cent. 50 Cent. What kind of name is 50 Cent? That's what I realized. I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out of the game. Oh, okay. Okay. Good morning. Okay. Lisa says yes. I guess Deborah said same here. I guess checked out around that same time. Yeah, I checked out. I know I listen to sporadically. I might know something, but I will fail most tests if you ask me anything from 2002 until now. Like to really know it. So all right. So let's get into our topic today. So we're talking about confidence, right? And having those moments where your confidence has been shaken, that you were sure that you knew, that you thought you knew, and then something happens that that has made you question, your own ability, and how do you recover from those moments? How do you bounce back when either you were sure it went wrong, or you just you thought you said something profound or prolific, and somebody kind of like, sir, that's not true. You just kind of like, what? You thought you dropped like, oh, mic drop. They're like, oh, no, you need to pick this mic up and have a seat. Those moments that just kind of shake you. And have you ever had those moments, like, walking up strong and confident and just kind of something that just made you question either who you are or your direction, or just like, like even in a professional space, man, I thought I was better than I was. Have you had that moment? And how did you kind of
I'm
bounce back?
gonna let Brother Brian go. He's had more interactions with a professional atmosphere than I have. So
you could have your confidence shaken just in a conversation with somebody you like.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sometimes I have it with my wife.
Right.
I'm on top of my game, and next thing you know, I'm like, wow, okay, you got me.
I mean, I think everybody. I don't know. I haven't met the person that hasn't had their confidence shaken.
Right.
So to answer the question, yes, I have had moments like that.
Right. And the key is, though, like, it's the pivoting from it, because we know people that have had their confidence shaken, but some have not. Like, they've shaken so much they've not stepped back into the ring. Like they've kind of sat on the sidelines. In 1995, I went up there and tried this thing, and and it's hard, and because what happens, I feel like it's a sort of, and not to make it seem small, but just like you have somewhat of like a PTSD kind of thing, or a remembrance, of that situation. So it makes it even harder to do, because all you have to draw back on is the feeling that you felt the first time you did it, and you just like, I can't shake this nervousness. I can't shake this fear of doing the same thing or getting the same response, because I can imagine people that have gone to the Apollo, like boom, I done sung in auditoriums, I done sung here, you know, I got claps and cheers and boom, I'm the man. And then go to Apollo and start belting out and whoa, like I just started. And you know, and you watch, they try to sing through it, and you're like, and sometimes they're the moments like, yo, just give them a minute. It looks like they're trying to get there. They just no, you know, like how do you get back up after that? How do you, you know, because Steve Harvey told the story about that, you know, him running to meeting Jamie Foxx and another comedian and they D.L. Hughley that at the Apollo, and they got booed. They got booed that night, you know, but obviously, you know, where they're at now, because so they didn't let the being booed stop them. You know, they're like, well, just a bad night. They just
they
wrote it
all
off as bad night. So how do you, you know, how do you write it off as a bad moment and not a, man, I'm just not built for this? You understand what I'm saying?
I think there's a difference between writing something off as a bad moment versus the revelation or the epiphany or that I'm not built for this. Because
Right.
saying to yourself, I'm not built for this, to me is not shaking confidence. That's an acknowledgement. That's a realization.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's not nothing to do with my confidence. I'm just not good at this.
Okay.
Certain things you're just not good at.
But what if you are? Like, what if you? Because have you ever had a talent, right, that people see, right, and you kind of see, you know, like, or like, you know, we've all seen people that we believe in way more than they believe in themselves.
Mhm.
Like, do you realize what you have? You know, like,
Yeah.
going that out, yo, do you know what you got? You know, they're like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about? I could just,
Yeah, but, you know,
anybody can do this. You know, like,
I learned something. I love the story of David because I took time in my studies and looked at David's heart.
okay,
One thing I love is, you know, when the Bible talks about David having a heart for God,
uh-huh.
sometimes you can have all the talent in the world, but not have the heart for something.
Right,
And even though people see the potential, like if you don't have the heart for it, it doesn't matter how much potential you have. You got to have the heart for it. You got to want it more than they want it for you.
right. No, 100%.
Right.
Right.
But I don't know if that, I mean, that could be a lack of confidence or it could just be a different set of priorities.
Could be.
You know,
Could be.
people I've had, I mean, people say that to me. I mean, right now, I'm going through that now.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, okay, so can I bear my dirty laundry? Well, it ain't dirty laundry. Let me bear my laundry.
That's the whole story. Right.
Go ahead, bear it then, brother. Bear it.
Yeah, so I'm in transition now, you know, like with ministry, like not as in serving, but just in the like the building, like when like we're a small ministry and COVID hit and people, you know, we couldn't go to church and so you lose people. You know, if you got 5,000 people in the church and you lose, you know, 20-30% of your people,
Right.
still be productive.
Right.
You know, you got 500 and you lose, you know, 150.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful, but you can probably bounce back from that because the 80-20 rule can still apply. You know, you under 100 people and you lose a significant chunk of people, then it changes some things. You know, and so for me, I had to make some hard decisions about the financial aspect of the building, the edifice, and the overhead of church, like hosting church.
Right.
And so I've had to make some tough decisions, and I've had to share that. And as much as I believe and people believe in the potential of it all, if 2 + 2 = 3, you got to do something different. And I think that sometimes, like for me, I had to question myself. I'm like, man, what are you like? Are you not good at this? You know, should you be doing something else? And the reality is, no, it's not that you should be doing something else. You should be doing this. It's just that right now, you know, come to the realization, this isn't working for you right now in this season. So you keep working and you do something different.
Right.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
can make you challenge or second guess yourself. It can make you do a million. My mind and my heart went to a million different spaces, man.
Right.
You know, talking to God, talking to my family, talking to my children, talking to my friends, talk to everybody that I can. And the problem with me is that I don't hold anything back.
Right.
So you get a different reaction from everybody.
Right.
And sometimes based on the reaction, the response you get from people, what people tell you in response can shake your confidence.
Right. 100%.
Right.
100%.
But for me, I just remind myself how far I've come in life, you know, and I'm so grateful to be where I am, knowing how far I've come. And then I snap back into, no, man, you got to, as tough as this is, you got to do this, bro.
Right.
You just got to go through it. You know,
Right.
that's real. But it can be scary. But I guess for me, my testimony is the more you've gone through, the more resilient you become.
Right.
And the less concerned you are about your confidence.
Right.
I think I have more challenges with confidence in my relationships with people around me who have to experience something with me.
Right.
Mm.
I get you.
That's where it gets shaky because you find out who people are,
Oh yeah,
you know,
no doubt.
and that can be some serious revelation, man. And sometimes it can be disappointing.
Indeed.
And
like
people can,
that
you know what I
earlier.
mean? So that in and of itself is a confidence shaker.
Right. That's true. So Michael says, and I think this is different though. He said coaching football kids have talent, but don't have the heart forward. Don't want to get, don't like the cold, don't like following directions, learning. But I think
Yeah, they
I
like
understand what you're
the
saying. I think that's different. That's a counting up the cost thing. It's like, you know, you find out like, yo, man, you super fast. You can hold the ball. You know, you can burrow. You know that they can bust through them, and you watch them bust through. They get to the end zone. They're like, nah, I ain't like these hits. Like, I didn't. That would, that was fun, but you want me to practice. You want me to get out here. Like I don't. That's just. That's not for me kind of thing. I don't think that's like a confidence thing. Even some of the stuff.
Well, I think it can be because you look across that field at somebody who's 3 times your size,
Right. And you feel like
right?
it
And
can
you
be.
know,
But
yeah,
I think with the cold and dealing with like
Definitely
that's a
take your
cost thing.
confidence.
Like, yeah, that's a cost thing. Like, I don't want
everybody think they can fight until they get
until
hit,
you get hit.
and getting hit can shake your confidence.
Yes, indeed.
And one thing about it, well, I'll say that for another day.
Say it with your chest, man.
Say it, brother. Say it. Come on now. Let's go.
I'm gonna hold that one. I'm gonna hold that one.
But yeah, I think when stuff happens or challenges happen, it's the pivot and the ability to move forward. To
Yeah.
not get stuck in a space where you don't do anything though. I think like,
Yeah.
Okay, that didn't work that way. Let's try it another way. And granted, just like you said, you can't get booed and you realize I'm not for the national stage. I'm gonna just stay in my local church where they applaud my singing, where they appreciate me. Like I can't. I'm not national stage ready, or I'm not. That's not who I. Where I'm at. Let's see. And Richard says confidence comes from the results. Confidence comes from doing the living. Confidence is not something that happens at birth. In my experience, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, you learn confidence.
Yeah, but
you build it. It
Right.
builds
You
over
don't do nothing
time.
else. You're gonna learn confidence.
Yeah.
yeah. That's. I
Because
think
when
you're
you
more
fall and realize you can get up,
right.
you're not as afraid to fall
Right.
the next time.
Mhm.
But-
And I think that sometimes people can mistake your pause for a lack of confidence
Mm,
because
Okay.
no one can determine your season of reset,
right.
right?
Mhm.
Right.
I think that in our lives, and this is what I'm learning. Sometimes you don't have the wherewithal to go do what you think you might want to do,
Mhm.
and so you pause and try to figure out what you can do,
Okay.
right? And in that pause, your confidence can be questioned.
Right.
And sometimes you question your confidence, but I think sometimes other people watching you question your confidence because they don't understand your pause. And I'm speaking for me. This is just Brian McCrory, right? I've had I know what I'm capable of,
Right.
because my life has shown me. You know, I'm a walking, living, breathing, divine intervention of God.
Right.
I know he stepped into my life. I know he pulled me up out of the miry clay. I know he's done all the things that I've been able to accomplish in my life could not have happened without my confidence in the Lord, which built my confidence in me. And so for that, I honestly believe I'm Superman. But even Superman has to deal with kryptonite every now and then. Right? But kryptonite doesn't lower Superman's confidence. Kryptonite renders him incapable of performing at maximum level.
Right.
And as soon as you get that kryptonite out of his way, he's back to doing what he needs to do. His confidence was never shaken. You just got to move the kryptonite, move the obstacle, move the challenge, move the obstruction out of the way. You know, and what happens is when people see Superman, sometimes they don't see the kryptonite.
Right. Right. That's true. That's
Right.
good. Yeah. Michael says, how confident are you when you can't deliver? He said, the ministry I had to teach even when my life was a wreck. When the situation was outside of my control.
Woo!
Yeah.
If people could learn from ministers, from preachers, what you have had to preach through.
Right.
Woo! What you have had to teach through. Look, sometimes just a choir rehearsal.
Right.
You be a choir rehearsal singing,
right.
And folks think the Holy Ghost came in the room, and no, you just tired and hurt. You know?
Right.
So I mean, but it's human nature. You know, I think that what's important is that for me, I've learned that the confidence that I have in myself is because of the confidence I have in who's in me.
Right. Yeah.
That's what makes you face the wall. Right.
Indeed.
That's what makes you keep going.
Right.
Richard, I appreciate you.
Oh, sorry for everybody that just needs to see what Richard put. He just had to take a jab at him, you know. So it was a jab. Always a jab.
Did he forecast in the future? It's one game.
But the game, I don't know who thought the Cowboys were going to win. I'm looking for the one who thought the Cowboys were going to win last night. But I promise you, they made somebody nervous for a minute.
Hey, I saw the whole game. It was a pretty good game, man. Pretty good game.
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm happy for Jalen Hurts. Anyway, back to the conversation.
Yes. There you go. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Hold on.
So what you can name? Have you ever had your confidence shaken in situations or circumstances?
Yeah, man, many times. Man. How far back you want me to go, brother? I mean,
as far back as you want to, brother. As far as you can remember, what happened? Like when you walked into a situation where you was like, either I got this, or you know, I've done this a million times, and something just happened that you just took you off your base.
Oh man, I'm trying to keep it PG.
Not too far back.
Let's see. Man. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what shook my confidence.
Okay.
August 2009.
All right.
Coming back from Houston, Texas.
All right.
And listen to my voicemail because I left my phone in the car.
Okay.
Heard my voicemail, and my doctor was like, go to the emergency room immediately. Don't call me. Go to the emergency room. And I went to the emergency room, and they started doing these tests, did the blood work. The blood work came back in about 2 hours.
Okay.
And after the blood work came back, next thing I know, they was rushing me in surgery. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm feeling good.
Okay. You fine. I'm straight.
So it's not like I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going there because I'm feeling sick. I'm going there because my doctor told me to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get there, and when I wake up, I got all these tubes in me.
Wow.
And confidence was shook. Am I gonna die?
Right.
Am I like, well, what's next on the list? Because this
Right.
was unexpected. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, oh no. And then when they told me I had to get on dialysis,
Right.
and I was like, what?
Wow.
And you know what really threw me for a loop that first day?
Wow.
Now, when I first got on, they had these tubes in me.
Okay.
It was they were called ports, but I call them tubes.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, they had these ports in me. But what really took me for a loop is when they was taking the ports out, and they had to use needles now. They call it cannulation.
Ooh, okay.
So when they had to do the needles and they
Right.
took the ports out,
Right.
and I had this fistula. The first time they put them needles in my arm,
Yeah.
get them fistulas, it was like a light bulb went off. Like,
Oh.
is this what life gonna be like?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and let you know what like, and then this little Asian lady
Right.
who I can't stand to this day. Her name was Sun. That's what I don't know how you spell it, but that's what you said. Sun.
Right. Okay.
She couldn't find the port. So I'm getting all these needle sticks. Bam, bam, bam. Just needle
Right.
after needle. You know, and you got to put two needles. One take the blood out and one put the
Right.
blood in. So I had two needles jabbing, 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 jabbing. I had to tell that little Asian lady, back up off me. I said, back up off me, lady. Don't touch me no
Right.
more. What you
Right.
da?
Right.
I don't even know what you're saying, but back up off me. So this,
Right.
the black lady came over there. Now this
Okay.
my first day now.
Right.
Using
Right.
needles,
Right. No idea. Right.
using needles now.
Okay.
And the black lady come over there. She do it, bam, bam, immediately, first time.
Okay. Okay.
So now they got to figure out how much fluid to take off.
Right.
And you kind of going through this experiment. And then this is the first day. I already got jabbed in with these needles, and now they got to figure out how much, and they took out too much fluid the first day.
Uh-oh. Wow.
And I'm about to pass out. I'm talking about eyes rolling back, and the lady, before my eyes rolled back, the lady said,
Right.
he going to Mississippi.
Uh-oh.
I say, didn't know what
You
that
know
meant till I woke up.
Wow.
Didn't know what that meant till I woke up. He going to Mississippi. Hey, when I
Wow.
tell you, I was like shook. You talking about confidence shook? Like, am I
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
pass out every time I come in here?
Right.
Am I gonna cramp? Because I cramped up too. Because they took out too
Wow.
much fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
when your hands cramp, your stomach cramp, your leg,
Right.
everything cramp up at the same time. It's just like
Right.
you're in this constant pain everywhere.
Wow.
Then they got to give you fluid back.
Right.
Now you feel like you 400 pounds because you got all this fluid on you, you know, but that's the only way to get the cramping stopped. But yeah,
Right.
that was my experience of being confident, shook.
Nice. Good times.
The confidence in your ability to survive the moment.
Right.
Life, the
Or
confidence.
survive life. That
Yeah.
moment made you reflect on it impacted your confidence on whether or not you'd be able to enjoy life, live confidence in life. I mean,
It was a combination of all that, brother. My
Yeah.
confidence on was I was gonna wake up
yeah,
from passing out.
Right.
The
Right.
confidence was I gonna be able to handle this going forward because this was my new normal. The
Right.
confidence of was I gonna be able to support myself? Could I work? Like,
Wow.
can I go to work? Is
Right.
it I'm already cramped up? Can I
Right.
physically get in here? Because I'm working 12-hour shifts. It's not like I'm just working 8 hours. Then I'm working 6 p.m. to 6
Wow.
a.m. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and then I'm like, hold on. What time do I got to go do this dialysis? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like if I get off at 6 a.m. in the morning,
Right. Right.
and then I got to be dialysis at 7,
Right.
and then I got to stay on this machine for 4 hours.
Right.
So I don't get out of there till about 12. Then I got to get back to the house to do whatever, try to sleep, just
Right.
try to sleep. Then I got to
Wow.
get myself cleaned up and eat. Then I got to go back to work. So I'm like,
Think about all of this.
yeah, I'm like, I'm talking about shook. You know what I'm saying? It's only
Right.
so
Yeah.
many hours in a day.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And by 18 of them hours is already tied up
Right,
into just surviving.
right.
So, and then when they was telling me, oh, you can get on disability, I said, disability. Well, how much I'm gonna get? $800. I said, no, I can't survive off $800 a month.
Right.
You know, I make $800 in about 2-3 days. You talking about $800 a month? No,
Right.
I can't do that. So I was like, So yeah, confident, shook.
Yeah.
Hey, when I got on dialysis, my whole
Yeah.
world was shook.
Yeah.
Wow. That's big. But you know, it's those moments though, like you have to put it in perspective and how can you make life work? Because at first you think about my whole world is crumbling down. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How can I handle this? How can I handle that? And then in the end, you know, I guess even after it's kind of like, all right, what's the plan? You know, how could I do this and live? You know,
Bro, them first 6 months, I was depressed.
right.
Them first 6 months, I was like straight up in a bottomless pit.
Wow.
Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. I ain't want to hear nothing.
Right.
It was middle finger to the world. I was just thrown off. You know what I'm saying? But that same black lady I talking about, she snapped me out of it.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do this. You know, I mean, she was just like my little cheerleader
Right.
when I
right.
got to the clinic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You might well get used to this. Don't set you a
Right.
schedule.
Just kept it real with you. Like,
Yeah. Set you a schedule, you know what I'm saying? Even though you're on this transplant list,
right.
you ain't finna get it tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm like, I ain't why? You know,
Right.
like she called me KC.
Uh-oh.
She was like, come on now, KC. You gotta be real about this thing. I was like,
Wow.
okay, all right. So she to this day we still cool.
Wow.
Still cool. And it's like 12 years later.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't move back to Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we still cool to this day, man.
It's a beautiful testimony, man.
Yeah.
I think when you talk about that season of depression, I think you go through that too. And then, you know, you have other times where your confidence gets hit, but that 6 months turns into, at some point, 6 hours, 6 minutes.
Oh,
because
yeah.
of surviving that, you know, like you said, your confidence builds from
Right.
that.
Right.
And
Right.
you get better, you get stronger to the point to where you rebuke yourself. Like I got to the point, I'm like, you know what, man, just stop whining, just do what you got to do. You know, you got to go through it. You know what it is. Just get it done. This is just a different kind of pain. It's a different kind of obstacle, but they're always coming. They never stop. But because you've made it through before, you know, like I feel like you have to get to the point to where, you know, there's that old adage, if I'm going down swinging.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I feel like so many of us go through that. We go through seasons like that in our lives,
Right.
you know, and everybody's at a different stage. Somebody's
Right.
confidence is shaken right now while we're having this conversation.
Right.
And they're so glad that they can hear somebody else say, my confidence has been shaken too.
Right.
And it's been recent.
Yeah.
Not when I was 7, you know.
Yeah,
Tell me something happened when you was 30, because I'm
Right,
35 right now, and I'm going through. I just lost my job. I got my family looking at me.
Right.
You know, I don't feel like much of a man right now because I'm not able to provide. You know, and I'm saying, like, some of the worst emotions come from what you think someone's thinking.
Right. Right.
You beat yourself down before anybody says anything negative to you.
Right.
That's real, because your confidence gets shaken. You doubt everything.
Right.
Everything. You're like, man, I hope I can still brush my teeth because it seems like I can't get anything else right. You know, you feel like that, man. I mean, it can be that bad, bro.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
where even the basic, the simplest of things become a task. They
Right.
become mountainous because you feel like you have failed in a specific area that you did not expect to fail.
Right.
Yeah,
And it can be
or-
hard.
I
mean,
will
or
say
you're-
health is one of them, man. I never thought my health would fail. Never broke a bone. Always in the sports, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always kind of took care of my body.
Right.
You know, I mean, like I say, this is the biggest I ever been right now. So I mean, I've always kind of like my body is my temple.
Right.
But you know, once I got on dialysis, it was like a downhill spiral. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had that fight for life. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I wanted to live as long as I could, and so I had to change a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now, but any man, I would say, if you not going to the doctor, if you're not getting those physicals every year, if you're
Right.
not paying attention to what your body is doing
Yeah,
that's
big
out
too.
of the norm,
That's big too.
you know what I'm saying? You need to go ahead and address that immediately because that's what I did.
Right.
And I had insurance. That's what was
Yeah.
so funny about it.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had the best insurance that
Wasn't using it.
and that an employee
I got
could
you.
have. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
listen,
saying? Like
indeed.
literally.
Indeed.
And didn't even think about going to the doctor. Didn't
Right.
even think about having them physicals and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm like, oh man, I got
I'm
LA
good.
Fitness. I'm in the gym 4-5 days a week. You know, I play basketball every
Right.
day.
Right.
You know, I'm just like I'm good. You know,
Yeah.
I'm almost cut up. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Good.
you know, if I stay away from these chicken wings and my hamburgers, I would
I'll
be
be
cut
I'll
up.
be
You
cut
know
up.
what I'm
Right.
saying? But I mean, like literally, I had I used to pride myself in my physique. You feel
Right.
me?
I got you. I got you.
So, yeah, man. So now I'm just a big advocate for any man who feel like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't or you good. No, you need to go ahead and get checked up because you don't know what your blood work gonna say.
Right.
Your blood work could be telling you a whole different story and you don't know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and get your physical, get tested, and do that. Because if you want to hear testimony about not doing it, just come holler at me.
Right. Right.
Or
Yeah.
me.
I did.
Right.
Oh well,
I got that button too. I remember not going to the doctor, you know.
Yeah, I'm
someone said
talking
to
about
me,
the drastic outcome though.
yeah, someone said to me, you must not love your family.
Wow.
I love yourself.
Wow.
Nah. They're like, look, I'm not gonna ask you about yourself. Could you at least love your family enough?
Right. Right. To be
Like, because it's obvious you don't love yourself if you didn't go to the
Wow.
doctor, but could you do it for somebody else? That's how it was said.
Right.
Like, when's the last time you had a physical? I don't know. What? How old are you?
Wow.
Do you love your family at least? Do you have children? Do you
Right.
want them? You want to see them grow up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rude awakening, bro. That was hey. And I'm like, I had to start getting physicals, man. I'm like, you can't just work out, you know,
Yeah,
exercise, eat right, and
Right.
think that everything is okay.
There's always something going on.
Always.
And my whole thing, mine was blood pressure.
Yeah.
My blood pressure had been high for years and years and years and didn't
Gotcha.
know it. Didn't know
Oh
it.
wow. You didn't know it.
I never went to the doctor.
I didn't
Got
either.
you.
I was
Never-
getting headaches, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
High blood pressure
Yeah.
can lead to headaches.
Wow.
It messes with your manhood,
Right.
all of that. You know,
Wow.
and if you don't get that stuff under control, man, it's just it just
Yeah.
gets crazy.
Yeah.
So
I've
we're
been
gonna turn
pretty
this
good.
into a health. Now it just became a health
It
topic.
is. I know, right? Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
pretty decent. I may miss a year or two. You know, I had my wife say, "Hey, you know, like when I'm feeling something. When's the last time you been to the doctor? Okay, it's been 2 years. All right, I'm gonna go. You know, like, but I would
Yeah.
never go
You gotta
like,
take you
long-
gotta take care of
yeah.
yourself, man.
Yeah.
If you have to,
Yeah.
you just have
Just
to.
put it on your calendar, man. Put it in your phone.
Yeah.
Put it on the wall, whatever. Just
And
go
I-
get
and
that.
I-
Go get a check.
And I know, like, well, at least I've heard. I don't think I've had anybody personally said, you know, people that they don't want to know, like they're scared to know.
I used to say that.
Well, okay, so it's really going on.
Yeah.
And it's like you need to know so you can do something about it. Because it's always the worst thing I think to hear. And I at least thank God it's always been like my car. But they would say, like, man, you should have came in here like 2 months ago. We could have did, like so that's for your body, it's like that would be the worst thing to hear. Like, hey,
And that's why the blood
you
work is
should have,
important.
you should have done such and such. Go ahead. Point of reference.
No, I'm co-signing what you just said.
Yeah.
If I'd have went 6 months before I got on dialysis, or maybe a year before I got on dialysis, I may not have. I could have probably avoided it.
Down. Wow.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I'm co-signing what you just said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So and the thing is, in this conversation, regardless of what happens, right? Life has a way of throwing curves at you, and I think life can be a minefield. As what's that singer? Or is that Love is a Battlefield? That's the song that was coming in my head. Love is a Battlefield.
Pat Benatar. Who was
Pat
that?
Benatar. That's it. Yeah.
Pat Benatar, yeah. Love is a battlefield.
I said, Michael says, not having your health definitely wrecks your confidence, right? When I had hip surgery and having to learn to walk again, whole life shook, right? For a sport athlete. Wow. Gym 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Car accident. Wow.
Hey, it shake you, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to put everything in perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And so when your confidence is shook, you just gotta learn how to pivot. What can you grab upon? How can you press forward? Because I think it's not getting stuck. You understand what I'm saying? Because even with Kaneem and going through his health scare, and right, he went through a moment of just depression where no matter what, people trying to come to him with a plan, he was telling them they were number one. Like, get on out of here with that nonsense. It's just my life. I don't care. Get out of here. And I'm sure enough people was like, hey, what you need to do is, man, if you don't get out of here with that, I ain't doing all that, because I just want to get back to my regular routine. We're gonna just work this out somehow. But you got to know how to move forward, and you got to allow people to help you move forward. And that's a big one, man. We maybe do another show about that, because we talk about help, we talk about village, but you got to open yourself up for the help. Are you opening yourself up for the help when you're in the space, when you're in the spot? And people can see it. Some people can see, like, you need some help. You need assistance. You need some advice. You need something, and I think our hard-headed nature is some of the thing that destroys us. It keeps us from growing, it keeps us from becoming better, because we don't want the help that's necessary. We're not trying to hear it. So that can pull you out of your, pull you into a space of confidence, because sometimes you just need a little confidence booster. You need someone just to speak into your life. So be open for it. Don't shut everybody off. Don't get into the cutoff ministry, because they don't say what you want to hear, because that's life. People are going to tell you what you don't want to hear. Yes. And the worst thing, we always say the worst thing, like, I'm already down. What, you going to just keep kicking me? No, I'm going to tell you all the nonsense that you need to hear. Like, 1, I told you so. 2, this is what you need to do. Like I said 3 months ago. So let's go, and you got to have those hard checks. You got to accept it. That's how you move forward. I know too many people that are hard-headed and don't want to, change their habits, or change the things that they're doing in order to become better. And sometimes your confidence is shook. It's taken out. Some things happen and you don't want to move forward. It's hard, but you got to make them tough decisions. All right. That's it for me. So, what do you guys, how do you guys feel about that? Like, how did you, like Kaneem, like, when did you start listening? When did you start saying, man, I gotta get out of this? When did you start grabbing all into the help that was reaching out for you, to help you get through?
Man, when in that specific situation, I think it was probably when I had to come to the realization from Deborah, the lady at the clinic.
Yeah.
When she, you know what I'm saying? When I had to come to that realization, like, you're gonna have to get used to this. This is what it is going forward. So she's like, adapt whatever your life is. Because
Right.
only time she knew is what I told her at the clinic.
Right.
know,
Right.
It
Right.
ain't like she, you know what I'm saying, came home or saw me, had
Right.
this movie screen of what my day looked like. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
but yeah, so once I got into that and kind of like snapped out of it and knew that was my new normal, then I was good because the
Nice.
whole thing about it, I was by myself.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I didn't
Yeah.
have a girlfriend.
Right.
I was living alone. I had
Right.
just got divorced. It was just me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you don't have to do something.
Right.
So once I got out that funk, you know what I'm saying, I
Gotcha.
got back on the bicycle and started dating again, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying, stepping out and doing this, because I'm like, hey, you don't have to get out this little shell
Right. I gotta
and
live.
break free. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting experience, man. I mean, for for me now, like the Georgia Transplant Foundation, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm still a part of that. So for
Okay.
those new people that's on dialysis,
Right.
those new people that get transplants, you know, sometimes they have conferences or webinars or something like that, and you get
Right.
to speak your experience to those who are just getting into it or
Okay.
those who are on the transplant list for
That's awesome.
living donors and
Right.
non-living donors.
Okay.
So you kind of like can speak your experience of what post surgery is going to be,
Okay. Which kind of
and
make them feel
I'm
confident.
just kind of give them some
Yeah.
insight
Right.
on some of the things they can expect once they go through the transplant process
That's cool.
and what to expect when you get that call
Right.
that you have a transplant that recipient. You're about to be a
Okay.
recipient
Okay. Okay.
because they don't like they called me. It was like 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Can you be ready in 3 hours? I'm ready now. My bad.
Right. 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 Hold on. I'm
This
up.
bad
I'm
ready
up. Let's
for
go.
about 2-3 years. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah,
Wow.
them 3 hours, like was out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Wow.
but once you get there, it's to let those on the transplant know, like they call you and they want you to be at the hospital in 3 hours, but now you got
Right.
to go through a battery of tests
Okay.
before you even go through surgery. So that's another 8 hours because they
Right.
got to test your body and make sure everything so you
Right.
won't reject the
The organ.
new organ that you're about to receive.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
it's not just that, as soon as you get to the hospital, go to surgery.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
got to test everything and make sure
Right.
that everything is good, that
Right.
you don't have a cold, that you
Wow.
don't have any type of virus, that you ain't got no type of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
you got to have a clean bill of health. Then they give you a lot of antibiotics and then they give you a lot of other
Right.
drugs so you can accept it. So your immune system won't reject the new organ. So you got to
Right.
go through all that
Right.
before you even get into surgery. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Wow. That's deep.
So it's a process, but that's what I try to explain to those who are on the list or those who are post my experiences.
Right. Right. Mm. So life has a way of putting you in a pivotal place, because like you're always on standby. You know, your life is you're waiting for that moment. You're waiting for that call. Oh, and then you
Yeah,
have to be
hey, I'm
ready.
waiting for
Then
the
you got to be
call.
ready.
Hey,
Yeah.
11 years I waited on that call.
Wow.
You know
Wow.
what I'm
Okay.
saying?
3 a.m.
Yeah,
Hey, you
yeah,
ready? Am I
yeah.
ready?
Hey, and what was so funny about it? The wife answered the phone
Wow.
and put it
Yeah,
on
you
speaker.
ready?
It's my phone. You know what I'm saying? She
Okay.
answered the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, yeah. She said, wow.
Yeah, we ready.
Yeah, right. We ready. We ready. That's funny. That's
That
awesome.
was hilarious, man. Kids was all amped up. You should have seen them. They was all amped up and ready. I was like, they was more excited than I was.
Because our whole life is about to change. Everything's gonna, the routine's gonna shift back. So
At
that's
least what
awesome.
they had the idea of it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, ain't nobody going through it like you
Right.
going through it. But
Right.
they witnessed the whole, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, process.
Yep.
Well, I tell
Amen
my
to
wife, she like, we going through it together. I said, no, you witnessing.
right. right. Right.
Let's make
Right.
sure now.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We side by side. We shoulder
Yes.
to shoulder.
Right.
But
Right.
you still a witness
Witness to this.
to
Right.
what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 100%. 100%. Oh man, this was good. All right. So get your confidence up. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck.
Small
Yeah.
victories,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Don't allow something that shakes you to break you. Don't allow something that just shook you a moment just to break you or to stop your momentum. Even if it's that thing that's not it, you can pivot into something else. Don't be afraid to stand up in front of folks again, even if it goes bad. Hey,
Mm.
had a bad moment. It's all good. High
They're
five.
gonna laugh at you.
Right.
You're
Remember
right.
that moment. So we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Anything else you want to share? All hearts and minds are clear. Anything going on that you guys want to share? Also listen, go to brotherlegacy.com. We still have the dinner giveaway. If you know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you can sign them up as well anywhere in the United States. We are going to give away 5 dinners to 5 families. So make sure you sign up for that. Sign up for that. The closing date is the 31st. The closing date is the 31st. So let's see.
October.
Yes, of October. Yes, right there. Boom. So make sure you sign up. Go to brotherlegacy.com, and do that. As well as if you have any school-aged children, make sure you sign up for the financial literacy course. Sign up for the financial literacy course, 100% free. So if you have somebody that knows somebody that has kids, sign them up. Send them the link to brotherslegacy.com. Have them sign up. All right.
And remember, it's free to you,
Yes.
but it's not free.
Right.
So if you'd like to seed
Ooh, look
into
at
the
that.
Brothers of Legacy
See, we going
to help push these projects,
Yes, indeed.
please give them where they should seed.
Yes. Go to you can go to Cash App, $BOL 2019, or you can go to brotherlegacy.com and sign up beyond donations, which gives you several avenues to give, as well as some services that we use that we get a kickback if you sign up for. All right. Can you work with Mayor to do more? Can you work with your mayor? Let him know. Give him my number. Give him my number. Tell him
I
to call
keep trying
me.
to tell him, Jeff, like we're horrible at fundraising.
Right.
We'll do the work, but forget to ask for help.
Right.
He just said, "Get help," and we won't ask for
I
help.
won't ask for help. I won't ask. I struggle. I need some help now. I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling. Thank you.
Look, and if you don't have it, tell somebody what BOL is doing, and
Right.
maybe they might have it where
There we
you
go.
might be lacking, and even your referral will
Yes.
come back and be a blessing to you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The worst. Yes. Appreciate you being here, Jeff. Appreciate all you guys. Richard, Mama Corey, Lisa. Thank you guys for always sharing, being a part of what we do.
Bro, get it on out you. Get it off.
I got it. Okay.
Talking about that money, we got to clear the throat. What's wrong? Say it with your chest, man. Your confidence shaking. What?
So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Hey, make sure you guys are subscribed to the podcast, because I'm going to have a lot of extra stuff coming up on the podcast. So make sure you, whatever podcast app you use, Apple, Google, anyone, Spotify, any one of those, make sure you sign up. We are on all of them pretty much. You can just Google us. We're there. I get with you. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same channel. 988 if you're having a mental health crisis or any issues, you or someone you love. And if you are struggling anyway, make sure you dial 988. Listen, we love you guys. We need you here. It seems like suicide is on a rise. We need you. We love you. You need to call us, connect with us. There are people out there that can help. All right. So you're not alone. Yes, Richard, Spotify. All right. So again, we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time. Hey, if you're in Georgia, first day of early voting. Prayerfully, you're already registered. If not, it may be too late, but just check. I could be wrong. So make sure you vote. Voting is important. Voting is important. We're not telling you who to vote for, but just vote. Go out there, know what's on the ballot, vote, because there's other initiatives, other places, you know, sometimes tax revenue, finances, and things like that. Make sure you vote so you know what's on there. All right. Because then you can't complain. That's my theory. If you don't vote, you can't complain about what's going on. That's what I
Could,
that's
but
how
it
I
won't
look at
matter.
it. You said what?
You could, but it won't matter.
It won't matter. Right. It won't matter. All right.
You didn't voice your opinion.
Yeah.
That's what
Let's
your
go.
vote is. Your opinion.
Yes, indeed. All right. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. Stay safe. And we'll see you in the AM. Peace out.